At 1:13 a.m., I woke to whispering in our hallway. Not TV whispering, strategy whispering. Jenna's voice, low and precise. Her mother's, dry as a file cabinet. He won't suspect a thing, Jenna breathed. Her mother's reply slid like paper. Just smile and keep the anniversary big. People make pressure. I lay still, eyes on the ceiling fan that hadn't worked right in years because I never bothered to fix unimportant things. That fan was unimportant. This, not so much. By breakfast, Jenna was a Disney version of herself. Blue shirt, hair perfect, pancakes, a candle stuck in the stack like we were 14. 25 years, she cooed, setting a plate in front of me. Silver. I want to do it right, Mike. Banquet hall, slideshow, vows, the works. Since when do you like crowds? I tapped the candle out with 2 fingers. Since I realized you deserve it, she said, a soft smile that didn't touch her eyes. If I'd known where it was headed, I'd have canceled the hall and hired a locksmith that morning. Instead, I decided to treat it like a faulty brake line. Quiet until it wasn't, and then it kills you if you ignore it. I don't ignore things that can kill me. Sure, I told her. Let's do it right. I started with money. In our kitchen, Jenna laid out ideas with the sharpness she saved for arguments. Silver balloons, a guest list the size of a small parade, a live band. Her mom was on speaker, turned face down on the table, voice leaking through the wood. Family should contribute, her mother said. But it looks better if he sponsors. Jenna poured me coffee, too sweet. Do we have a budget? Or do we just celebrate? We have a budget, I replied. I'm covering the room and food. You want extras, you handle extras. She laughed lightly. Mike, you don't need to be stingy. I'm being clear. I slid a notepad over. Room. Food. Done. Her mouth curved. You're adorable when you try to be firm. I'm effective, I answered. Also, starting today, we're simplifying money. My direct deposit goes to my account only. I'll put our usual household amount into the joint on the first. No advances, no IOUs. She blinked like a cat sprayed with water. That's new. I like new, I said. It keeps people honest. Her mother chimed in through the wood. That's controlling. I nudged the phone with a finger, sliding it back to her side. It's responsible. And your speaker privileges are revoked in my kitchen. If you want to talk, hold the phone. Jenna picked it up slow. Mom, I'll call you back. The care routine ramped up after that. She packed lunches, made calls to venues, sent me links to centerpieces, talking like we were planning the Olympics. When I asked for the vendor list, she waved me off. Let me handle details, she said. You'll ruin the surprise. I don't like surprises. You like control, she teased. I like clarity, I corrected. Speaking of, the guest list will be approved by both of us. No last-minute additions. Mike, you're taking the magic out of this. I'm taking the fog out, I said. Magic can stay. She slid onto the stool opposite me, elbows on the counter. You know what would be cute? A table with our memories, paperwork, photos, silly things. Like your old title to the condo, our first tax returns. People love that stuff. I'm not staging my paperwork, I told her. We have photos. Why not both? She smiled like a realtor. It tells our story. Our story doesn't need documents. She rolled her eyes. You always make it harder than it has to be. I shrugged. I like the hard way. It usually holds. She left for her mother's shortly after. As she grabbed her purse, a lock screen preview popped up. Jim, Friday rehearsal set. Papers ready. She clicked the phone dark fast. I didn't ask. Questions are invitations. I wasn't inviting. The moment the door closed, I went to my office. I pulled the fireproof box from the bottom shelf and checked the lineup like a mechanic checking tools before a road trip. Original deed, dated 3 months before our wedding. Accounts, retirement statements with dates clean as daylight. A folder with tax returns. I snapped fresh photos and uploaded them to a drive I hadn't told anyone about in 15 years. Then I drove to the shop. My shop is a long rectangle of concrete and light. 2 lifts, a wall of tools, the scent of rubber and coffee. Dave, my lead tech, had a knuckle and a wheel well when I came in. Morning, Chief, he said without looking up. Your fan belt called. Says it's innocent. Everything says it's innocent, I replied, setting my coffee on the counter. Nora in yet. Nora runs the front like a dispatcher. She leaned on the high desk with a stack of invoices. I'm here. You're smiling. That's either good or you're ready to fire someone. Neither, I said. Access rules. From today on, nobody goes behind my office desk except me. Period. And camera settings. We're saving audio. Nora raised an eyebrow. You expecting trouble at an auto shop? Shocking. I expect patterns, I said. At noon, Jenna stepped inside with a tray of brownies and a look like she'd rehearsed it. She never came to the shop without calling. Today she sang through the door. Hi, team. I brought sugar. Dave glanced at me and mouthed, oh. He wiped his hands and backed away like a man giving the ring to the boxer. She set the tray down, turned to me. Can I steal my husband for lunch? You already stole him for life, Dave said, cheerful. He's single. Jenna laughed. He needed direction. I led her to my office. She hovered by the chair, eyes on the locked drawers. Cute. When did you start locking things? When I noticed hands in my stuff, I told her. Paranoid, she said lightly, then softened. I'm sorry about earlier. The budget talk. I respect it. I was just overwhelmed. I want the night to be perfect. I like perfect too, I said. She placed a hand on my shoulder, the touch light like a reminder. I was thinking about the memory table. If you don't want the deed out, could I borrow it to make a copy? For the video. It flashes on the screen, you know? Like a timeline. You don't need the original for that. But it looks authentic. She smiled, eyes wide. Guests love authenticity. I'll pass, I said. We'll use photos of us, not papers. She exhaled, then reloaded the kindness. Okay, big man. No papers. I hear you. We're good. We're fine. I told her. Great. Can I use your computer for a second? I just need to print the seating chart. You have a laptop, I said. It won't connect, she said quickly. Please. 2 minutes. Use Nora's. She loves charts. I replied, opening the door. Jenna stood there for a beat, then handed me a brownie like a piece metal and went to the front. Through the glass, I saw her lean over Nora's desk and laugh. Nora looked back at me, her eyes asking a question. I shook my head once. When Jenna left, Nora walked into my office holding a paper towel with a brownie on it. She asked for your Wi-Fi password. I told her it was classified. Good, I said. Nora lowered her voice. She also dropped a notes page when she pulled out the seating chart. I picked it up to hand back, then saw my own name. I read, I apologize in advance. What did it say? Nora slid the folded paper onto my desk like a cop sliding a citation. Names. Bullets. Opening. Jenna's speech. Truth and growth. Mike signs family commitment doc. Witnesses. Mom. E. A line underlined twice. We say he's been controlling. Frame it as safety. E. I asked, even though I already knew the letter. Nora tapped it. Someone with a letter for a name. Jim? That's the contact on her phone. You want me to say I lost this? Give it back, I said, smiling, and print me a clean copy for the file. She cocked her head. You're going to war? Not yet, I said. I'm building a map. Need a scout. Dave stood in the doorway, grease on his cheek. I'm good at carrying things and looking dumb. Not today, I told him. But Saturday, I'll need our friend Miguel for sound. Done, Dave said. You want me in a tie? No, I said. I want you early. I tried normal for exactly one dinner. Jenna and her mother talked, as if they'd forgotten the paper Nora had returned with a curtsy. We ate chicken Jenna made too salty on purpose because she knows I don't complain about food. Her mother held court from the far end. My cousin can be the MC. He's great with a microphone. We already have one, I said. She ignored me. Jenna's turn. We'll have a moment in the program for the truth of marriage. People appreciate honesty. I'll start, then you can add. What truth are we sharing? I asked. She tilted her head. That you can be firm, and that we had to adjust expectations. You mean boundaries, I said. Yes, we'll share boundaries. Her mother set her fork down. Mike, be a gentleman and let Jenna lead the night. She's good at atmosphere. I'm good at facts, I said. Jenna's smile didn't move. Stop looking for a fight. I'm looking for respect, I replied. Here's one fact. I'm not signing anything at a party. Her eyes flicked to her mother. No one said you were. You did, I told her. On paper. In my shop. You dropped it. She laughed, a little too high. You misunderstood. I read English, I said. Her mother pushed her chair back, the scrape long. If you're going to ruin the tone, don't come. I picked up my plate, rinsed it at the sink. I'll be there. And here's my own tone. Sunday dinners at your place are paused. My schedule changed. Because you're hurt. Her mother put air quotes around the word. Because I prefer not to be discussed like inventory, I said. Another change. I'm adjusting door codes at the condo. You'll have yours by text. Your mother won't. Jenna's voice went flat. She's family. She doesn't live here, I said. You're isolating me, her mother declared. No, I said. I'm isolating my property. There's a difference. Jenna stood. You're overreacting. I dried my hands on a dish towel. I'm reacting. Her phone flared again on the counter. Lobby notary confirmed. Friday walkthrough. She snatched it, too late. I didn't say a word. I walked to the hall closet, pulled out the box of old photo albums, and set them on the dining table. We'll use these, I said, for the slideshow. Authentic and cute. She stared at the albums, then at me. You're not funny. I'm not trying to be, I replied. After they went to her mother's, I sat on the porch with a portable recorder the size of a deck of cards. No cloak and dagger. Just a cheap tool clipped under the hall table, syncing to my phone. If she wanted public, I wanted record. Around 9, my phone buzzed and fed me their voices like a live sports broadcast. Jenna, brisk. We keep the script. He'll cave under attention. Her mother, practical. Make sure he shows up late. People will need a face for support. Jenna, he signs the family commitment thing at the end. Everyone claps. Then we transition. Transition landed like a bar of soap dropped in a prison shower. I let it sit in my head, solid and ugly, then made my call list. Miguel for sound. The manager of the community hall. A guy who remembered me from youth basketball. A copy place that stayed open late. I built my side of the stage with the same calm I used to rebuild an engine. Piece by piece. Torque to spec. By midnight, my plan was clean. I would not match theater with theater. I would stick to daylight. If she tried to force a scene, I would give the room context and walk. I slept 6 hours without dreams. 2 days before the banquet, Jenna invited me to a coffee shop that does latte art shaped like leaves. She wore the red dress I liked on quiet nights. The same dress she'd stopped wearing a decade ago. She hugged me in line, fingers on my back like we were dating again. I was a brat, she began, all soft edges. You were trying to protect us. I got carried away. Noted, I said. She angled her head. Say something nice back. You make good coffee at home when you pay attention, I said. I appreciate it. She smiled. Progress. So Tiny asked. For the slideshow, my cousin wanted to add a few pages about our legacy. He needs access to the safe to get the originals. No, I said. If he needs a photo of anything, he can ask me. I'll send it. Mike, trust me. I am trusting you, I said. I'm trusting you to follow rules that keep us out of trouble. She exhaled, let it go. Fine. I like the program you made. The cards look professional. Thanks, I said. She leaned forward, her voice low. And I want to add something personal. A surprise dance. Just us. No speeches. No big truths. I promise. That's better, I replied. But no surprises that involve paperwork. Agreed. She laughed softly and reached for my hand. Agreed. Will be boring. Try me, I said. She lifted my hand and kissed it in front of the barista like a performance. The kid at the machine raised his eyebrows. She was laying it on thick. It would have moved me 10 years ago. Now it just confirmed my math. When she felt the ground shift, she poured sugar. I sipped and kept my footing. That afternoon, I adjusted one more lever. I asked the hall manager to send me the stage layout and power map. I sent Miguel a pouch with a tiny HDMI switch, a backup mic, and a thumb drive labeled A. I also sent Dave the seating chart with 2 notes. Put Mom and the letterman at the front. Row 1. Close enough to see details. Close enough to read. Dave texted back, this is either going to be the best night of my month or the strangest. Either way, I'm getting popcorn. The banquet started with silver napkins and polite smiles. 100 people in a room built for 80. Coworkers, old neighbors, cousins, 2 PTA moms I didn't recognize. My sister Claire hugged me in the lobby and leaned in. You good? She asked. Solid, I said. She scanned my face like a nurse. You look like you're at a board meeting. I run better in a meeting, I told her. Miguel stood by the sound table, clean shirt, wires organized. He gave me the nod that means we're tight. Dave stayed roving with a camera stabilized on a grip, tore his smile pasted on to look harmless. Jenna glided in with her mother flanking her like a campaign photo. She looked stunning and expensive. The guy with the letter name came in 10 minutes late in a casual jacket, planting himself near the front like he belonged. No shame, just presence. He shook hands with her mother, whispered to Jenna. She touched his sleeve quick and removed her hand even quicker. Dinner was chicken again, because the universe likes a running gag. Toast happened. Her cousin tried a few jokes about the man of the house, and the room gave him charity laughs. I smiled when appropriate. Jenna squeezed my arm under the table as if we were a team. I let my arm lie there. My file folder lay on the chair beside me, unopened. Then she stood, mic in hand, perfect posture. "Thank you all for coming," she began, voice smooth. "A quarter century is a lot of miles. We've had highs, we've had lessons. Tonight is about honesty, about doing what's right for family." Her mother nodded like a metronome. The letterman folded his hands. Jenna looked down, then up, performing modesty. "So, in the spirit of truth, there's something we want to share, and it's not easy. Mike and I have decided to separate. We believe in a fair division, in protecting family interests. We'll be signing a commitment tonight, and—" I stood. I didn't raise my voice. I raised my hand. "Hold it." Her mouth tightened. "Mike, please don't make this." I reached her in 5 steps, gently but firmly took the mic. "I'll be brief," I said, turning to the room. "Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Since this is about truth, I'd like to add context before any signing happens." Her cousin tried to intercept. Miguel saw him, and upped the house lights a notch. People shifted from cake forks to attention. I held up my folder. A few facts, not theater, dates and documents. I nodded to Miguel. The screen behind us showed the first slide. A photo of Jenna and me at 25, grinning, broke, happy. Then a scan with a date, a deed with my name, 3 months before our wedding. "This is the title to the condo," I said. "Purchased before marriage. It's been my home, our home, for 25 years. That's not romantic. It's paperwork. But it matters when someone suggests moving pieces around for family." A murmur. Her mother's jaw tightened. Next slide. A list of accounts, each with a start date before the wedding and a consistent contribution line. "These are my retirement accounts," I continued. "Also started before." Again, not romantic. Just facts. Jenna stepped forward, reaching for the mic. "Mike, this is not the time." I let her fingers touch the microphone, then released it for 1 beat, so she thought she had it, and immediately took it back. "We'll do time in a minute," I said. "Now, here's the part where things got inventive." Slide 3. A screen capture of a notes page, the one Nora had handed back. Names blurred except the initials that mattered. The line underlined twice. "We say he's been controlling. Frame it as safety." I had blacked out details that would embarrass anyone unrelated to the plan. I don't swing at bystanders. "I found this at my shop," I said. I was going to ignore it and chalk it up to pre-event nerves. Then I heard a few calls at home that changed my mood. Miguel hit play on audio, Jenna's voice, clear as a bell. "We keep the script." He'll cave under attention. A ripple. Chairs creaked. Someone coughed way too loud. I raised a hand. "There's more, but I'm not here to humiliate. I'm here to set a boundary. Jenna, if you want to separate, we'll do it without a show. If you want to talk about fair division in a room full of our friends, then the baseline is this. What was mine before is mine. What we built together, we'll handle like adults, not with speeches and printed forms in a lobby. And whatever debt you've taken on in secret to fund things I don't know about, I'm not co-signing tonight to make it go away." The next slide was a bland spreadsheet. 3 credit accounts that weren't in our ledger, each opened within the last year, each feeding transfers to an account with a name that wasn't mine. I didn't put the name up. I just let the line show the wrong initials. Jenna's face went colorless. Her mother tried to stand. Dave stepped casually into her path, asking in a loud whisper about the restrooms. Miguel dimmed the lights just enough for people to unhook from staring and breathe. I turned back to Jenna, the mic at my side. "You want it public? Here's public. No yelling. No scene. Just clarity." I looked at the front row. "You, the letterman, you can stop sending my wife messages during dinner. This is our night. Enjoy the chicken." He studied the floor. No one moved to rescue him. Jenna reached for my arm. I stepped just a little back. "You humiliated me," she whispered. You tried to pressure me into signing paperwork at a party. I replied, quiet enough for the front rows only. You aimed the lights, not me. Her mother found her voice. How dare you embarrass our family? How dare you rehearse my signature? I said. The room waited for a meltdown. I didn't give them one. I handed the mic back to the MC cousin gently. We're done with speeches, I said. Let's eat cake. After that, Jenna and I will talk privately about next steps. No documents will be signed tonight. A copy of this program is on your table if you forgot the order of events. I stepped off the stage. Claire met me halfway and squeezed my shoulder. That was surgical, she murmured. You okay? I'm tired of fog, I told her. That was just window wiping. Jenna followed me into the hall. You're not leaving, she stated, blocking the door to the parking lot. I already left the part of this where I play along, I said. The rest is logistics. Where will you go? Her voice tried to be strong and landed on small. I've had a small place by the river on a month-to-month for 2 weeks, I told her. I needed quiet to think. You can keep the condo until we sort the basics. The codes change tonight. You'll get yours. Your mother won't. My money won't touch anything with your new accounts attached. You're free to pursue the atmosphere you want without me in the shot. She stared. You plan to walk? No, I said. I plan to stay if this stayed honest. You changed the plan. Her eyes flicked toward the lobby. I followed her gaze. A notary table parked beside the coat check with a stack of blank forms and a pen on a chain. My laugh wasn't kind. Subtle, I said. You should have put balloons. You're making a mistake, she said. I fixed one, I answered. I'll send an itemized list tomorrow. We'll divide what's ours. We'll be calm. But you don't get my signature because you stacked a room with cousins. She clenched her jaw and stepped aside. I passed her, stopped, and turned. One more thing, I added. You don't get to reframe my boundaries as cruelty. You coached a narrative. It didn't land. She didn't reply. She went back in, shoulders squared, audience waiting for a second act that was canceled. I walked outside and texted Miguel. Kill the audio archive after you pull me a clean copy. He replied with a thumbs up and a word. Done. I didn't stay for cake. I drove to the River Place, a box with a view of water and a cracked patio I already liked more than most vacations we took. Dave texted me a photo an hour later. Jenna on the stage. No mic. Mother whispering in her ear. The letterman drifting to the exit alone like a customer who thought he could skip the line and got caught. Claire called. Mom's already on the phone with me, she said. She thinks you ruined the family. I closed a show, I replied. Families survive shows. What now? Now I sleep, I said. Tomorrow I handle the boring stuff. Utilities, insurance, subscriptions, the car title, the shop payroll. The house accounts stay topped. I don't leave messes. You want company? Claire asked. No, I said softly. I want quiet. The next day, I sent a short email to Jenna and her mother. 3 paragraphs. What I would continue to cover until a date. What I would no longer cover starting now. What belonged to me from before and was not up for discussion in public or private. I included a link to a folder with copies of deeds and statements. Clear labels, no commentary. I told Jenna to pick a time to pick up her mother's belongings from our place. Security would let them in. I recommended a financial counselor if she found herself in a bind. I didn't rub, I didn't curse. I took my name off things I didn't need. I left gracefully. Jenna tried one more tactic that week. She showed up at the shop in that same red dress with a lunch bag and tears that looked suspiciously well-timed. Nora intercepted her with a polite smile and a clipboard. Is he available? Jenna asked. Nora didn't blink. He's with the client, she said. You can leave the bag. I need to speak to my husband, Jenna said, voice just high enough for Dave to hear and wander over. Dave leaned on the counter. He's in a meeting, he said calmly. That's new, Mike. Boundaries. They're annoying until you respect them. Jenna swallowed, looked past them, saw me behind the glass on a call, and realized I wasn't going to break the rule I set. She left the lunch on the counter and walked out. Dave opened it after she was gone. Celery sticks. I laughed for the first time that week. That night, a final message came through my recorder as I was unscrewing it from the hall table for good. Jenna to her mother. He's not coming back. Her mother. We'll spin it. Jenna, small. He didn't yell. That was the point. 3 months later, I wake up with sunlight on a simple wood floor and the river outside my window. The condo is still mine, quiet, rented to a responsible couple who treat it like a gift. I bought a used pickup that runs like a sewing machine and a house out near the lake with a garage deep enough to build hobbies in. The shop is busier than before. Turns out people like mechanics who can expose a stage act without shouting. Word gets around. I see Jenna twice. Once to sign a few boring things that had to be signed. Once because she forgot a box of winter gear in a closet I didn't check. Both times were civil. She lives with her mother now, or near enough that there's always a casserole dish in the picture. The letter man is a rumor. He didn't last past the night the lights hit him. That's not a victory. It's a result. On Thursdays, I meet with a small crew at the gym, then grab burgers with a woman named Laura who runs her own small business and asks good questions, but doesn't ask for keys. We know what we are. Grown-ups who like each other's company and guard our time like it's expensive. We're boring in all the ways that count. It's a luxury. People still mention the banquet sometimes. A guy at the hardware store will say, "You handled that like a pro." My neighbor at the lake will ask, "You ever think of doing motivational speaking?" I tell them the same thing every time. I'm not a speaker. I say, I'm a mechanic. I fix what breaks, and if it can't be fixed, I take it apart clean. Then I go home, close the door behind me, and let the quiet do its work. I didn't win anything. I didn't lose anything I needed. I kept my name on what it belonged on and took my dignity with me. The last thing I said to Jenna, the night of the banquet, in the hallway after she moved from anger to appeals, sits with me because it closed the book. She had looked at me with the face from our early years, the one that used to undo me. "We can still do this with grace," she whispered. "We just did," I answered. "You wanted public truth. That's what it looks like when it cuts both ways." Then I walked past her into air that didn't require permission and drove myself back to a life that fits. That's all I ever wanted. Not applause, not payback, just a clear map and the courage to follow it out the door.